That is our guest this morning, Ayodele Okundalaye. Okundalaye.
Yes.
The
sea goes around the world.
The sea goes around the world. Round the world.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Ayodele Okundalaye is my name, but Saco is my stage name.
Senior advocate of comedy.
Yes, but literally that was not the name from the beginning. It was
from the beginning. It was not.
It was not so from the beginning. But I realized it was Ayodele. So it was Saco. Saco is my stage name. It was a name that when I discovered I was going to become a comedian when I was in secondary school, and I saw the likes of Sir Alibaba. I saw the likes of Sir Alibaba. Yes, I call him Sir Alibaba because I can't call him he's my grand mentor, so it's easy for me not to call him that. Yeah, for me, I don't. So I call him Sali. Yes, Ali Baba, and then the likes of Mama Baba, Sonny Baba. Yeah, there were a lot of Babas back then, and I said, my first name is Sunday, so do I want people to call me Sonny Baba? So I sat down as a teenager and I wrote down all my names, and my first name Sunday, my other name Ayodele. I'm an outcast. I'm partly Ondo, partly Delta. So I have an Igbo name called Chukwukamadu. Chukwukamadu means God is greater than man, and then my surname is Okundalaye. And just the way I wrote it down, I just saw that it came out as S-A-C-O. And Saco, I began to say my name is going to be Saco for my stage name, and that's how I got the name. But when I got to University of Ilorin, like this video that I just played, that was my performance in Aberdeen in 2017. The first boss I ever had as a comedian, MC Mark, gave me the name Senior Advocate of Comedy. He brought out a joke that I wanted to study law. Since I can't become a son, I'll become the Senior Advocate of Comedy. And I saw that it was working out. I didn't really like the name at first, but when I saw it was getting a lot of traction, I said, let's stick by it.
So,
we have gone to the beginning without even asking the question.
I've been looking forward to this.
Looking forward. Yes. So, are you one of those people who study
engineering?
I studied accounting and data processing.
One of them.
Yes, I'm one of them.
If I brought you my books now, you could actually.
Okay, so no, because I've not practiced in a long time. So I tell you the truth, accounting was not something I should have done in the first place if I had proper counseling. Because I've always been, if I had proper counseling, I loved literature. I used to teach literature as a student. Even while I was in school, I was teaching my friends literature. When I finished secondary school, I was a teacher teaching students writing literature, and I was good at that. But
why then did you choose accounting?
That was a course they had put in my mind that I was going to do accounting, so I can account for the things,
Mommy and daddy.
I don't want to put blames. I'm going to be 40 on Monday.
Your mother is watching.
I don't know if she's watching. I'm going to be 40 on Monday. I don't want to start at this age. I shouldn't start. No, it's not Korea. It's not start because basically I did the accounting, and I eventually I did a diploma course in theater act when I was done in Ilorin to realize that I should have. And by the time I was doing theater, I realized that I should have done this early enough, because this time all my body was stiff. I couldn't do it's a lot of no, I celebrate the stage. No.
What did your body be?
When you do I don't realize, no, this is not what I should have done. No, I should have done this in my early teens, or maybe I was 19, 20. But this time, by the time I was going back to Unilag to do a course there, I was my 25, 26. I just said to myself, I ran by the grace of God. I just focused on the comedy and the compare. But I've involved in not just being a comedian, I've involved to being a compare.
And you started far back as when?
Professionally, I started on the 1st of October 2005 at the Quara Hotels. Okay, yeah, that's where I started, where they paid me the sum of 5,000 naira. Yes, as a student, that was a big deal. 5,000 was a lot. I can never forget that date. I did comedy for about 10 minutes, and they said my money was 5,000. Oh my God. So when my mentor, Oli Malan, gave me a job of 30,000 a few months after, my enemy wanted to
millionaire.
30,000 to do joke. Even if they say I should preach in the church, I will preach, because that title was, I'd taken 5,000 from 2005 to 2008 when I met my mentor, my mentor, Oli Malam, and he said, can I come to comedy in Lekki for 30,000? No, and I said, 30,000. I wanted to be sure if it was my, so when they paid the money into my account,
I will go to the moon.
Mama, I withdrew 1,000 to be sure that it was my money, because I'm shocked that the bank did not even call me to say somebody hacked my account to pay that amount, because my mom stood on the queue before to pay like 200 naira into my account so I can withdraw 1,000. So now getting 30,000, and then those few days to the day, a day before, my mentor called me and says they want me to actually host the event. I say, even if they say I should, and even if they say I should preach, they should give me Bible text to preach that day I will preach. So I did that. They gave me souvenirs. They gave me a lot of gift after to do comedy. And then involved, they gave me my other job in Abuja to do comedy for 120,000. That was the first time I took a flight, 2008. They said I should take a flight. I said, why would I take a flight when I can do Lagos, Ilorin to Abuja? I didn't understand. I was used to going to Abuja by road. When they took my first flight, oh God. The money was too much. When they gave me my first 90K job, oh, you don't know that. I was rehearsing. I messed up the performance because the money was too much. I messed it up. If they had given me 5,000, I would have killed it. Performed, but that money was too much. Can you give me 120,000? You want to kill me? You want to finish my destiny? But I realized it was capacity. As you grow, you realize that there's part where you build capacity for the amount that you're attracting. And thank God for mentorship. Mentorship changed the whole game in my life.
When did you decide for comedy?
I decided comedy in University of Ilorin. Back as a student, I started hosting most of the departmental events.
And why?
Yeah. This is something I love to do. So whether you pay me or you don't pay me, I love to do it. I used to get crash events, go to events. When I see a flyer or a banner of any event, I'll go meet them. I say, I'm a comedian. Do you mind if I host an event for free? I've hosted events in London for free. I've gone to London. I've gone to America. London, United States of America, United Kingdom. Yes, even the US I've gone to, because this is what I love to do. I've gone to May 3rd or May 4th. I saw, before that week or that few months before, I saw a banner of an event in London, and I said, I've not done any comedy, you know, in London, that I would like to go to London. So I reached out to my mentor, MC Mark is now in London. I said, I want to come for this event. I said, I booked my flight. And just while I was booking my flight, somebody wanted me to do something for them. So I did the event. When I was going to the place, the woman didn't know me. And she introduced me like, we don't know him. He just came from Nigeria. You know how somebody introduced you and say, in case it's not funny, I don't know. They didn't know.
She had already denied you.
Yes, so, like, just, and she said, the way she introduced me was the way she was running. He said, he just came in from Nigeria this morning. This person, she's very, MC Mark, he asked me to call him, please give me 5 minutes. And they didn't know that I'd prepared. That's why it's good that you prepare yourself, and I'd prepared. And then as soon as I got on stage, I'm a Christian, so you pray that simple prayer. And then as I got on stage, less than 10 minutes, you know how they say you have killed the event. I killed the event, and while they were enjoying it, I just say, thank you so much, that's my time. So I left as soon as I walked, and you know how you were very humble before you started. There's this pride that wants to come and just help myself together. I went to as I was walking down to the toilet, she just came to meet me. I said, they want you back. Yeah. They want you back. I said, if they want me back, you have to pay.
Now let's talk money.
I just said, you have to pay, because I booked my ticket. You know, who's going to? I said, you have to pay. He said, I'm going to pay you. Please come back again. So as soon as another comedian, I came back as they were enjoying it. Guess what? The next year, this lady put me on the bill. So the next year, they invited me to come and host. So
this time they paid you.
This time they paid, yes. Oh wow, obviously they had to pay. All right. So I'd done those things. I did locally and but internationally, because sometimes this is something I love to do, whether you pay me or you don't pay me. I love to make people laugh. I love to make people happy. It's been. I was in the choir. I used to introduce a song. I used to anchor a concert in church. I still do till date. So it's something I love to do. Comedy has always been something that, like I said, I wish I had to go to school. I had to go to a 6-month course to learn presentation skills, audience analysis when I was done in school, to just work more myself.
So
wow,
what kind of feedback have you gotten so far about your brand of comedy? Mark my words.
Yes, my brand of comedy. So for me, one of the things that I stand for, I've evolved to just, like I said, not just being a comedian, I've been involved to being a compare with a sense of humor. And one of the feedback that I get is I don't insult people. People have had some encounters with some comedians where they're on their seats because of the things that's coming out from them. And you can't blame them. They're not informed. They're not well informed. If they're informed, they realize that everybody in the crowd is very important. As everybody, both the person in the back that you can't even see. So for feedback from me, because of the values that I stand for, the values of doing clean comedy, realizing that I'm a professional, this is what feeds my family. I travel to countries from this job, so I know that it's a service I'm rendering. And so the feedback I get is, Saco will always deliver, will not insult anyone. I do a lot of senior pastors events, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So the feedback is, Saco will do clean comedy, will not insult anybody, we're not going to make anybody feel unease.
What challenges have you faced in the course of being a comedian?
For me, challenges is one of the things that make me better. I'm glad I don't live in Challenge in Ibadan. But for people that live in Challenge in Ibadan, I celebrate her.
You have hit her low because she studied in Ibadan.
By the way, I went to University of Ibadan.
You also...
Yeah, for my brother's convocation. It was my brother that... it was my brother. I didn't go. It was but I went to Ibadan Poly. So I went to Ibadan Poly, but it's just by the fence. It's just that fence in Ibadan Poly in Songo.
Here we are.
Mama, no, we have to read. So the challenges for me is a lot of people believe that you have to be popular before you begin to get some kind of gigs, some high-profile event. But I realized that you don't have to be popular to get. People that know you know what you stand for. All right, I've seen a lot of popular events that do not do the kind of event that I do, and I'm being paid. Okay, so people believe in the industry, challenges, you're not popular. And I like the fact that I'm not that popular because I can go anywhere and eat my corn, eat my bolly. You don't want to
yourself.
Be myself. I'm always myself. Just lately, I go to Canada and I see somebody staring at me at the airport and saying, I know you, at the train station in the UK and said, I know you. I say, okay, you're not popular. But I just believe that the challenge, as you grow, the challenges gets you better. Because of the mentorship that I do, I also mentor. I've enjoyed mentorship, so I do the same. I multiply it in great effect of mentoring people. That challenges get you better. All the challenges we had was for a purpose for us to be a blessing to other persons. So for me, I see those challenges as one of those things that will come and go.
There's something that he does that I've seen on social media platforms, Facebook, even I think I've seen on Instagram as well. He does matchmaking at weddings.
Yes, I do.
You will just some random fellow from here and some random fellow from there.
I do that spontaneously.
What happens?
And guess what? I get few years after I get a call and said, you match-made us at an event. And we're getting married. I tell you the truth. I kid you not. My greatest mistake was not recording or, documenting that journey. I have over 130,000 subscribers right now on Facebook because of the matchmaking. And this is something, and it came from a place of trying to solve a solution because I solve a problem. So when I host events, weddings, you know how you've hosted a lot of events, you've lost weddings, and sometimes you want to get bored and says, what can I do to make it lively? You know how from bringing the parents of the bride, parents of the groom, chairman, and it just happened every Saturday. So I said to myself, what can I do to those sweets? And I started this matchmaking. Randomly asked, she tossed the bouquet, and then the guy catches, or the lady catches the bouquet. And I said, are you engaged? Are you in a relationship? And he says, no. Why not? Well, let's look for a friend, the responsible friend of the groom. Let's do it. Let's prepare for another marriage. And poof, it happens. And the feedback is amazing. People say, we cannot take you out of the scene because you were there, you made it connect. Yeah, so I don't do the I follow up. But at the time, people wanted me to start doing that. I get a lot of mails, message, please matchmake me. But I realized there's a lot of work. So it's now a level that I have to go to school to learn all the skills on how to matchmake, because it's another level. I do it on the surface. But now, if I'm going to counsel, I have to begin to use for genotype. I have to be able to trust. So people trust me right now to choose a guy for them.
Can you imagine?
But I had to, because I had to seek counsel also, so I don't get into trouble. Yeah, no, it's well.
He has a crystal ball, guys.
Yes.
He has a crystal ball.
Yes.
He's a seized. Sorry.
In the meantime, there are many comedians coming up.
Yes.
Isn't the space getting a bit overcrowded?
It is actually. There are a lot of comedians coming up. Anyone can stand up to be a comedian, but I say that there's a space for everyone, depending on the kind of audience you want to catch. So there are comedians, but there are people that will not get to some places because of not doing some right things. You know, like I said, anybody can be watching. Anyone can get into an audience. So it's how prepared are you to get to that top? There are classes in the comedy industry. There are people that will not call some people because they do not feel that they fit into. A client will be sure before they call you to an event to be sure that this person fits into our event. So, which I know that our grand mentor has tried so many times, the likes of Sir Julius Agu, Sir Basoj, Sir Teju Babyface, Sir T.A. are done to try to put a structure where we have, before you come into calling your craft as a comedian, there should be some things you should have passed. Because for you, when you have gone through that and there's a structure, nobody's going to underpay you. And another challenge is being underpaid in the industry. So in spite of comedians coming up, we can't stop them. There are generations coming up. I got into the space even when we had comedians on ground, but I still got my space. I still grew through that space. I've been doing it now for close to 17 years. So there's a space for everyone. Is how well do you want to get to that place where you can call yourself a comedian, A-class comedian, there are A-class, there are B-class comedians, C-class comedians. So you can't stop it. You can't stop the market because there's no proper structure in the industry. But we're together. We're together when we want to be together.
Are you thinking of going into acting?
Something I love to do. Something I love to do.
But you started a little something.
I started, but it's a lot of work. I have great respect for actors and actresses. I have great respect for them. I was on a set. I was supposed to take a 5-minute scene. I was there from morning. If I went a day before, when they were calling me to ask what I would eat for morning, afternoon, and night, I said, no, I'm only coming to do one thing. and I'm sure the lady was smiling, and this guy doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Because I'll just do a 20 minutes or do a 2-hour thing, and I'm off. And they paid me in advance. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. You know, but I love to act. It's something I want to do. My wife and I do. We do a lot of called the Funny Couple Nigeria, where we do a lot of things about things that work in marriages and things that singing. My wife sings, so we try to do a lot of. But acting is work. I tell you, I give respect to anyone that the skit makers.
Well, let's stick with what you do. So, what next from Saco? We have just about 2 minutes.
Okay, so I'm planning the Saco and Friends event where we have friends that I've worked with in the past 17 years come together to celebrate, to thank God for the journey. I also launching a book where I teach, because daily I teach also on YouTube, where I teach people on how to host the event, how to host burial, concert, anything that has to do with how to. I do that. If you type how to anchor weddings, you go on YouTube, and that's my way of giving back. I have people in Canada that reaches out to me in the US and say, your video. I was in London last week at an event on Saturday, and the person says I was going to anchor a wedding in London. I'd not met her before, and said I was going to anchor a wedding and a birthday, and I just typed how to anchor a birthday, and he said your video helped me. That for me is one of the things that I'm excited I'm doing. It's emotional when I begin to talk about it, that this guy that, you know, they saw as a clown, you know, is now being a blessing. I was in Atlanta in August. A guy flew in, drove all the way from the US to pick me up at the airport in Toronto, because he wanted to surprise me, to say thank you for being a blessing from watching my videos. He can basically say my words. You know, somebody has consumed your content and is saying the things that you do word for word. So I'm converting those things, adding some other things to launch a book, you know, and say how to be some secrets that entertainers won't tell you. See, you can't hide the secrets for them. Yeah, there are trade secrets, but there are things that can be a blessing to people, that people say, because of your book, I decided to take this decision. So I'm doing that over the weekend, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Remember those books for dummies?
Yeah.
DIY for dummies,
yes.
Public relations for dummies.
Yes,
so you're going to be how to.
Yes, how to.
For dummies.
No, not
for dummies.
For comedians and
how to.
Yes, yes, how to. Yes.
Well done.
Thank you so much, man.
Ayodele Okundalaye is popularly known as Saco, and he's been our Artist of the Week. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate you, Mama.
Oh, this event is when?
On Sunday, tomorrow.
Oh,
tomorrow. You have a front seat. We can get to interview you. You can just let me know how many people you're coming with.
So that's been the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. I'm Ayo Makinde.
And I am Alero Idu, wishing you a very blessed week. See you next week.
I am Saco.